Absolutely the most fatal sound and icon, especially in multiplayer games or when you are playing Beat Saber. So let's make sure for how long the battery lasts and do a battery test comparing the new Pico 4 with the Quest 2 battery. This will be part of my full Quest 2 versus Pico 4 video releasing the 14th of October. So subscribe if you want to get notified, I very much appreciate that. So I fully charged both VR headsets, connected both of them to my headphones using Bluetooth and brightness to the fullest and casting it to my computer at the same time. But that's all pretty heavy to the battery here. Now for the first 30 minutes I started walkabout mini golf and just played some holes on both headsets. Now the Pico 4 has a battery with a capacity of 5300 mAh, while the Quest 2 has a capacity of 3640 mAh. I don't really know what that means, I am not a professional, but the Pico 4 has a bigger battery here. Now I am very used to PC VR gaming, so I really had to get used to the fidelity to standalone gaming. Now I have seen that in some reviews that the Quest 2 lasts for 2 hours and that the Pico 3 lasts for 3 hours. But now we are casting it as well, and it might be a little heavier on the headsets here. So at 70 minutes here, 19 minutes, we see that the Quest 2 is at 82% battery and the Pico 4 is at 85, around 85, so that's pretty close to each other. In the end we will see the final results of all the timestamps together, but yeah, still pretty close here I would say, not a huge difference when it comes to just playing golf here. And after 30 minutes, the first 30 minutes, we can see the Quest 2 was at 71% and the Pico 4 had 75% left. Now for the next 30 minutes I was just watching YouTube videos here. I was watching something about the C130 plane and I was watching some other videos. Now I am very curious to the ones who are still here at this timestamp and are just not skipping to the end. Just say in the comments, I was here. I'm curious. Anyway, we are now 45 minutes in. Quest 2 is at 58% and the Pico 4 here is at 72%. So the gap is getting bigger and bigger here. So let's see how long that will last. I have to say though, the Pico 4 was really clear. It was really nice to watch videos within this headset. Also because it was just very light on the head. It was not really pressing my forehead that much as the Quest 2 here. We are nearing the 1 hour mark. We can see the Quest 2 being at 45% and the Pico 4 being at 50%. And yes, so 1 hour, 45% for the Quest 2 and the Pico 4 had 50% left. Up next, for the next 30 minutes, I dived into Blade and Sorcery Nomad. And what I realized from the get-go here is that in the Quest 2 it had some micro stutters. It was stuttering a bit for me, while in the Pico 4 it was really smooth for a reason. And I'm not sure if that's because of the RAM, because the Quest 2 has 6 GB of RAM and the Pico 4 has 8 GB of RAM. But yeah, let's see. Now 1 hour and 50 minutes in, the Quest 2 is at 31% and the Pico 4 here is at 33%. So that gap is almost non-existent now again. They are very close to each other. So for some reason, playing Blade and Sorcery on the Pico 4 was draining the battery very hard here. Almost 90 minutes in here, 1 hour and 30 minutes. And I think I have to check here my notes again really quickly on my phone. The Quest 2 was at 20% and the Pico 4 was at 21%. So very, well, even in a way. And the last couple of minutes I was just watching videos again on both the Quest 2 and the Pico 4. And I can tell you that after 1 hour and 35 minutes here, with the Pico 4 I had no problems, but the Quest 2 started to annoy me, like the weight and all of that. We can see here 1 hour and 40 minutes in, the Quest 2 is at 10%, the Pico 4 is at 14%. It seems that watching movies is not draining the battery that fast in the Pico 4. And the Quest 2 died after 109 minutes of playing and watching videos here. And the Pico 4 just lasted for a bit longer and died after using it for 117 minutes. Now let's take a look at the final results here. After 30 minutes, the Quest 2 had 71% battery power left, the Pico 4 75%. After 60 minutes of usage, the Quest 2 had 45% left, the Pico 4 50%. After 90 minutes of watching movies and playing games, the Quest 2 had 20% left and the Pico 4 21%, so pretty even here. The Quest 2 died after 109 minutes of usage and the Pico 4 after 117 minutes of usage. I was quite surprised here with these results. I was expecting the Pico 4 to last a little bit longer compared to the Quest 2, but that was not the case. Now I don't know if that is because the Pico 4 software is not yet optimized, and like I said in the beginning, casting with the Pico 4 to the computer, the image was much sharper on the PC compared to casting with the Quest 2 to my computer, so I don't know what that does to the battery power. Now I hope this gave you a quick insight in comparing the battery life of the Pico 4 with the Quest 2. Now let me know what you think of these results and of the new Pico 4, and I hope to see you again the 14th of October comparing the Quest 2 with the Pico 4 in all its glory. I see you in the next one. Ciao ciao.